former Deputy Senate President, alongside his wife, has been arrested in the UK in connection with organ harvesting. That was what the story did say. But a lot of persons were a little bit skeptical because they couldn't confirm initially when it broke online. Efforts were made, look at the date of birth of the wife and then his own date of birth. People started piecing the story together before finally the confirmation came that the former Deputy Senate President had been arrested in the UK. And the story is not one that a lot of Nigerians are happy about because of a number of implications given the caliber of person involved and what it represents. And some Nigerians have already started expressing concern about the whole thing. Well, the publication, the UK government website last month had said a total of 58,887 study visas were granted to Nigerians between March 2020 and March this year. And in all of this, there are angles that a lot of persons are worried about. And the former Deputy Senate President had applied for a bail, which was not granted because the matter for them, maybe that's serious for now, was accused of conspiracy for an organ harvest. And all we learned that the boy is a 15-year-old guy and said to be a minor. Because of that, he has a case. Sonia Ekweremadu is the daughter of Ike Ekweremadu, said to need a kidney transplant, and they had to look for someone. The story is one that for some time Nigerians are going to talk about it. We'll bring you some of the reactions trailing that, and of course, even the letter he wrote to the British High Commission. Richard, are you still with us? Hello, Richard.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right.
Hello.
When you heard the story, yes, when you heard the story about the arrest of former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu and their wife, how did you receive the news, and what are the implications for you on the country and Nigerians?
I would say that straight away the news was I received it coldly, in the sense that Ekweremadu is not an ordinary Nigerian. He is a politically exposed person. He has been Deputy Senate President, still a serving member of the National Assembly. In that sense, as they would put it, a ranking member in that sense, having served in the Red Chamber for quite some time, and he was also a contestant for an aspirant up to a point for the governorship in Enugu State. So he's a visible, person in that sense. So when this happened, I said, what's going on? But there are two dimensions that I think are important for us. The first is that there had been rumors, and insinuations and even investigations about, organ trafficking, and the whole, organ transplant, business, and the fact that it had come to these shores. I heard about it first, several years ago, and it was associated with young people in the barracks, police barracks and all the barracks, environment and all that. And then there have been attempts at hushing or not hushing, and there have been investigations. Remember that I think last year there was the investigation by the other, reporter, Undein. So yes, we have an organ trafficking or organ industry issue that we have to get to the bottom of, in that sense, because we've got to, put 2 and 2 together. Now, the other part of it also is that you are now dealing with situations where, should these issues not be properly managed, and since it has come to the fore, just like we have the advance fee fraud, issues, and even the drug trafficking issues, you may get to a situation where innocent Nigerians may now be unduly profiled, as being potential suspects, in this process. But so I think that to give the benefit of doubt to the senator, we should wait for the full determination of the court processes. But it doesn't look good, because Nigeria has already been carrying a whole lot of baggage, and now this is additional baggage that we are bringing, that has come to, rub off on us. And you also know that we are at a point in our own history where we have had an issue even in terms of managing our foreign affairs. I've heard government functionaries who are supposed to give Nigerian citizens the benefit of doubt repeatedly make statements like, we would only represent and defend Nigerians without a criminal record who have not been associated or named in crime. Now, that is worrisome. The status of our laws say that everybody who is accused of a crime is innocent until proven guilty. So, proceeding from that, the Nigerian government and the Nigerian diplomatic missions and services should represent that face to the world. No Nigerian, should be adjudged as guilty without passing through the full and proper process of trial determination. But when government officials, even as high up as in the presidency, begin to make statements like, we would only represent Nigerians who have not been accused or tainted, even when processes are still underway, what it seems is like you are throwing your own under the bus. So I think it's important that we set the right tone so that other people will not say, this one is an orphan, this Nigerian or Nigerian citizens are orphans. They are not even being protected by their own nation. Why should we go the extra mile to accord them the rights and duties of innocence until the final determination of cases? So for me, it rings 2 ways. One is that we have to fully investigate where the extent and the dimensions of the organ transplant industry in the country as it affects us now, and see what we need to do to ensure that it doesn't get out of hand. And then the other one is to deal with issues of how, Nigerians should be accorded proper representation even when they are in situations. Of course, when they are found guilty, other issues would naturally follow. But until that is done and fully done, the country reserves a right to stand by its citizens. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me read a letter that the senator wrote to the British High Commission here in Abuja. I read, the letter was dated December 28, 2021. Dear Sir, Madam, medical visa application for Ukbo Nwamini David. I am writing in support of the visa application made by Mr. Ukbo Nwamini David, who is currently having medical investigation for a kidney donation to Miss Sonia Ekweremadu. David and Sonia will be at Royal Free Hospital, London, and I will be providing the necessary funding. I have enclosed a statement of my bank account. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you require additional information. Please accept the assurances of my highest regards. Yours faithfully, Senator Ike Ekweremadu, PhD, CFR. This is the letter he wrote. And then, of course, there is a link in case you want to join us you can call into the show. There is a link out there. Look at the link and feel free to call us in case you want to be part of the discussion this evening. The arrest of Senator Ike Ekweremadu in the UK over alleged organ harvesting and implications for Nigerians. Actually, you've heard Richard, some of the things he has said. And then again, this particular issue, when you heard it, how did you feel?
Well, it wasn't a bit of a comforting news, but discomforting, quite so to say. And I quickly had to wait to get to understand exactly what was going on. I had other sources that I had to rely on to get further information before I saw the letter that this distinguished senator wrote to the British High Commission. For me, it is when I'm looking at this situation, I'm looking at the agony of a parent who is watching the child in distress, and what the parents is going through to make sure that the child doesn't lose any child in this kind of this circumstance due to ill health. Being that the daughter is down with the kidney issue, I think the onus was on the parents to find a way to help out their daughter. That, for me, is a burden every parent bears, to make sure your child gets the best of medical treatment, whatever the situation arises. On the other side, I do not think that the distinguished senator is involved in child trafficking. Neither is he involved in organ harvesting. Because from the tone of the letter he wrote to the British High Commissioner in support of the visa application, he clearly disclosed why the visa was being sought for David. Perhaps the age of the child was not disclosed. Maybe that could be an issue. But in the letter, he clearly disclosed that this person is going for UK for organ donation. So that to call it organ harvesting, for me, it would be a little bit of it would be ridiculous to impute that the distinguished senator Ike Ekweremadu is involved in this kind of act.
All right, Malaki, hold it there. It looks as if someone has joined us. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening,
Hello.
sir.
Evening.
Yeah,
Your name and where you calling from?
good evening. Okay, I'm calling from Quito. I'm calling from Quito, Ecuador.
Ecuador. Good. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, I want to throw my contribution concerning what is going on. So, what's going on in Nigeria and concern what is going on our Honorable Senator, Sir Ike Ekweremadu. Well, this should not be a surprise, because this is kind of a situation Nigeria it is, and kind of people that are reading us. You know, what I find that law cannot persecute you without you being offended or without you being guilty. So, Western people are different from African. West are different from African. In West, I believe that human rights are not violated. Other people are going United Kingdom. Itobi are going there. We've seen different sort of senators are going there. So, before law will prevent Senator Ike Ekweremadu, he must done something. So, it should not be a surprise, because until I want Nigerians to ask especially my people in Southeast, to ask themselves question: is this the type of people that are leading us in Nigeria, or is this kind of people that will take us our promised land? Because I believe that United Kingdom cannot violate right of Senator Ike Ekweremadu without him being charged against the law. So,
all right,
UK authority must verify it and inquire it very proper before they will apprehend him.
All right, thank you very much. So that we can move on the program. Let's look at some messages that have come in. True Talk says, good for Ekweremadu. Chukwuemeka Kamara, our godfathers at work. Peter John, is the organ donor a minor or an adult? And what was the agreement? That's what Peter is saying. Okay. Pete Pat, so sorry for Ekweremadu, especially the sick daughter. This problem we even, no, we pray it doesn't happen that way. No parents will watch their child die without doing something, even extreme things. Nkem blessing, Ezenwa can win at all. This one is responding to the defection about in the party. All right, and the evenness in Nigeria, Ekweremadu will have no case to answer. They are above the law. Even as at Pittsburgh, doing something is taking organs from a poor child to their daughter. Even as Ekweremadu and his wife is above the law in Nigeria. And then Mecca and NATO, sorry for Ekweremadu's daughter, but the father is not a good person for Nigeria and Igbo people. Right, these are some of the messages that are coming in. Actually, sometimes when you read some of these messages, you just want to ask what is really happening.
Well, these people are expressing their opinions, the way they feel, or the way they say things. Some are having primordial issues and some sentiments attached to whatever they are saying. But the reality is that, like one of the callers said, no parent will watch their child die without doing something.
Mm-hmm.
You could even take extreme measures. I'm sure if anybody had told Ekweremadu, look, if you go to so and so river and drink that and drink a bucket of water there, then your child will be okay. I'm sure he will do it. But having come to this point, I think that since the matter is already before the courts, my attitude should be to let the court verify, look at all the circumstances surrounding the case. It's been established that there was a visa properly granted, meaning the child was not smuggled into UK. It's been established that there was a reason for seeking the visa, which means that the UK government was aware that this child is coming here. This guy is coming here to make a donation for a sick person. If there are issues about the age of the child or the age of the donor, it will have to be established. But the implication here for me is that we have to be a lot more careful when traveling abroad. Countries change their laws occasionally, and sometimes when these changes happen, you are not aware of them.
Mm-hmm.
You run into it and you happen to say, look, it's already you are here, you've committed an offense, and you begin to look at yourself and say, look, I was not told. I'm aware that in some airports in Southeast Asia, they put it there clearly for you. If you're coming to a country with drugs, this is the offense. Some people are not aware of them here. Some people play smart. So let's go there. We'll find a way to evade them. And when you run foul of the law comes up against you. For Ike Ekweremadu, I will sympathize with him for the daughter's pain and the pain the family is going through because of seeing the girl in that kind of situation. Whatever happens, I will say the law will eventually come up, examine all the issues at stake, and find out exactly what happened. Whether there was a foul play in the age of the child, the guy that was kept for the donation, I do not know. If the guy was underaged, the question will be asked: how did he agree to become a donor? Were the child's parents aware that their son is coming forward to donate? If the child, I'm sorry, using the child, if the donor is of age of consent, was he in a position to say, I'm going to make this donation? If it's not, did anybody sign on his behalf that he will go and make the donation? Whatever happens, I think the law should be able to examine all the angles to this and find out exactly where he got it wrong.
Lately, we've been inundated with stories about organ harvesting. You hear it almost on a daily basis. You read it almost on a daily basis. You hear testimonies of persons who narrate how they escaped from ritualists, and then there are very gory tales, really blood-chilling tales of these incidents happening right here in Nigeria. And unfortunately, That is what is being tagged over there, in as much as his visa application clearly stated what he was going for and the person involved. But the title under which it has been captioned now makes it look as if probably they are taking one small boy to the UK to probably harvest his organs and sell, and then return wealthier than they are.
In fact, some people have said, "Oh, he and his wife picked up a street boy from Lagos."
Yes,
a homeless street boy was picked up from Lagos and taken to UK. I mean, we need to imagine these narrations. But the reality, like you pointed out, is this: organ harvests have been an issue in Nigeria. It didn't just start yesterday. It didn't just start the day before yesterday. It's been a progressive problem here.
Exactly, because it's now almost very common,
almost very
prominent.
And that one thing that is driving it is that we have seen a situation whereby young people suddenly believe that somehow you use certain human organs to become rich, to perform money rituals and become rich. And I keep asking myself, is it that our minds are queer, or that there is some magic that has overtaken us that we believe that if you pick up someone's eyelids or genitals, there's something you're going to do, and somehow the person becomes rich out of it? And I ask people questions. The native doctor, or whoever, is going to use those organs to perform magic for you and you become rich. Is it forbidden to be rich? Right? Is it forbidden to be rich? You go to his place, probably the person is living in a shanty, in a very decrepit environment, but it's making you what? He convinces you they're going to make you a millionaire, make you rich from human organs. And somehow somebody believes. My thinking, a lot of people have told me that I'm wrong in my analysis, but my thinking is this: that somebody whom you approach for money rituals is probably going to give you a very difficult task as a way of discouraging you. But maybe people say, oh, it's going to work, let's go for it. And I also believe that what we call money rituals is a shadow name that people give to cover up what exactly they are doing to make that kind of money. So maybe I'm robbers, and they tell you, oh, we did money, we took money, they took money rituals. And somebody said, oh, it's true. He left the village yesterday. After 2 months, he came back and he's rich. And maybe along the line, one of his parents died. I said, oh, he's using them for money rituals. How it happens, I don't know the metaphysics behind it. And I don't believe there's any metaphysics that you could do, you could conjure that makes you turn human organs into money. I don't believe that happens.
All right, let's take some more messages. Nemeka Onyagba, I think we should get to know the details. He has a sick daughter. He notified the UK Commission. Visa was applied. We have to be patient to know if it's an organ transplant or harvesting. Thanks, Nemeka Onyagba. Thank you very much, Nemeka. And then Stanley Mazi Stanley, this yam eater, I guess he went to eat yam in UK and suddenly he decided to harvest organ. Ernest Nadi, that letter you just read now was fake and forged. The guy confessed that the senator never explained to him that he's gonna make a kidney donor to his daughter. That's another angle to it. Okay. The guy confessed that the senator never explained to him that he's gonna make a kidney donor to his daughter. Praise God now. Organ harvest is the confused word there. But the truth remains that he wouldn't have done it with a homeless child and moreover a minor. That's where he got it all wrong. Okay. Right. These are some of the messages that are coming. Ernest Nadi says, there is nothing to verify, Mr. Man. This is UK judicial system, not Nigeria. That's what you have to know. UK judicial system can never arrest anyone without a proper investigation being done. Thank you, Ernest. Right. So these are some of the messages that have come in. I really feel for Senator Ekweremadu, given the fact that it looks as if the world is crashing in on him. It's like a double jeopardy. You now have to think about your sick daughter, And then you also have to think about the years, the corporate image that you've built over the years, your political career, everything looks like it's crumbling on you. And unfortunately and regrettably, this is not Nigeria where we'll be say maybe it's a family affair and anything can go.
Well, unfortunately, that's part of life. It's a part of the story of life. Sometimes you see that all the things you built up, you spent several years building up, in 1 minute they are crashing before you and there's nothing you can do. Well, Ike Ekweremadu, I pray that he finds respite in this moment of trial with his wife. I'm just imagining the daughter in the hospital, the two in detention till July 7th. However that turns out for them, it's going to be a real deep moment of trial for them. However, how they walk out of it, perhaps God in his infinite goodness will find a way to intervene in their matter. If it works out very well for him, good. If it doesn't work out very well for him, the law takes its course. If he's found guilty of any offense, well, why not?
What do you think that Nigerian government can do in this instance now?
I don't see much the Nigerian government can do, but there could also be diplomatic moves to tamper justice with mercy in case of a conviction, to look at the health of the child, that this is a decision that was taken to save a life. I know that a lot of people have traveled out of Nigeria to engage in organ harvest in India and sell their kidneys and sell parts of their body. Recently, there was a news went viral on social media that in Zimbabwe, people could get as much as $40,000 by harvesting one of their toes and selling the big toe.
For what?
I don't know what for, but there are a lot of people. There are a lot of pictures coming up and saying people are selling their toes and they're getting $40,000. And I know there are a lot of people on social media saying they were ready to go to Zimbabwe to do that. This is Nigeria. A lot of things happen. The quest to get money today, tomorrow is so high. But somebody at the level of Ekweremadu is not somebody who is going to engage in organ harvest to make money. I mean, it's beyond that.
And then you ask yourself, how did we get here?
It's a deep question we ask ourselves, and everybody must ask ourselves. I think the whole thing is about the failure of morals in our society. Several years back in schools, primary schools, children are taught about Christian morals or Islamic morals, and they recite certain things, do a lot of things every day.
Moral instructions,
and they live with them. You come back home, the parents continue from what the teacher has taught. But I think that progressively we have seen that decline. I'm sure that some years back, if your child came back home with a brand new car, probably you're going to ask him or her, what happened? I remember my twin brother came back home when he bought his first car. We drove to the village. We met my father. He was there looking at us. We welcomed all of us. Later that evening, he called him and said, "Who owns that car you brought home?" My brother said, "Oh, it's his car." He said, "What do you mean by your car? You are not working, so how did you get a car?" The guy had to explain how he started piecing up the kumbo, buy a tire, join, buy this one and buy this one before he pieced it together to become a car. The man said, "Are you sure?" That's the kind of parentage we had those days. But now, growing up, and you come to see a lot of young people. Every young girl wants to have an iPhone 13. Every young boy wants to have some kind of gadgets, and you know that your parents don't buy this for you. Your parents won't buy them for you. And some parents see this, they don't bother. They don't care. They don't ask questions. And when you don't ask questions, it means that you have even abandoned your own responsibilities. Your children are now facing the world with their own life, the way they see it. And some parents look at it as, oh, it's the in thing. They are young people. They should express themselves.
All right, let's take this last message. Over Theo, the British High Commission granted a visa to someone stating clearly the purpose of traveling to the UK. Don't the British High Commission know he was a minor? All right, those are some of the messages that we got this evening in reaction to the arrest of Senator Ike Ekweremadu in UK over allegations of August harvesting. For whatever it is, in Nigeria, our law says that you are presumed innocent until proven guilty. Whatever are the details of this issue, we are yet to know, but we know that in the days ahead, we'll be getting to unravel this very breaking story. It's a sad one, given the fact that the daughter is sick, trying to look for an answer, a solution to the problem that has come upon the family. This is seriously a double tragedy for the family. We hope and pray that the family, the Ekweremadu family, will come out of this and hopefully be able to clean themselves over this allegation for now. And that's how we'll wrap up on today's edition of the program. Thanks to Richard Mama, the editor, the Different newspaper, who has joined us virtually from Lagos. And of course, Achilles Uchebu, who is here live in the studio, who has also joined this evening. Thanks to all others behind the scene, doing all that they've done to make sure this program comes to you. On behalf of everyone, I'm Victor Irele, thanking you for being part of the show. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. Good evening and have a pleasant night rest.